Hello everyone, I am Nalini from White Falcon Publishing and get ready for another episode of Rapid Fire Session. And today we have with us Dinesh Pundir, author of the book How to Win Admissions and Influence Visa Officers. So how are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you so much.
Okay, so let's start our rapid fire session. So my first question is, what's the most common mistake students make in their statement of purpose?
The most common mistake that I've seen students making in their statement of purpose is they do not cover their strengths like properly, their strengths and weaknesses. I mean, they sort of fail to explain their weak points and cover up with those cover up those weak points with the strengths that they have, in their academic profile. Uh, so that is one mistake they usually make, and there are other mistakes also, like regarding grammar. They do make grammatical mistakes also, and you know the entire SOP sometimes it lacks the creativity and the uniqueness that is supposed to be there, to influence the visa officer, to convince the visa officers. And overall, they students they make it very straightforward, like just I mean their main purpose is just to get the visa somehow. You know. They don't they fail to explain the entire academic progression from right from their schooling up to their graduation or whatever field they are into, and whatever field they are planning to they're planning to go for. So, and sometimes another mistake that I've seen most students making is that they make it very lengthy. The entire statement of purpose that sometimes runs into 4 or 5 pages. They write the entire history. They're like there's sort of a life story. Like they try to put it in 4 or 5 pages and all. And the visa officers they don't have that much time to go through such a lengthy statement of purpose. So the statement of purpose should be concise, should not be definitely not more than 2 pages. I would say even 1.5, 1.5 pages is good enough. But it must address the key points, the strengths of the student, the weaknesses of the students, and a clear cut picture about his future plans, like what he intends to do after completing his intended program. So these are some of the mistakes that students that they make. And in my book, which was launched by White Falcon Publishing this month only, I've tried to cover all these mistakes, that common mistake that students usually make. So because I've been writing a statement of purpose on behalf of my students for the past several years, and it is basically, this book is a compilation of all those statement of purpose that I've written so far for my students. That's it.
Okay, that's great. So which section of the book do you think readers will revisit the most?
The book is divided into two sections actually. The first section is about the statement of purpose, and which is actually the 75% of the book. 75% of the book covers the statement of purpose. And it is because this is the first book in the series, and it will be followed by a second book and probably third book also in the series. So I have just included the sample statement of purpose. There are real statement of purpose that I've written for my students, and all of them they have been able to get the win. That's why I use the word win. They've been able to win admissions and the study permit. And which is a very tricky permit. And even I have written for students who were refused a study visa or a study permit by immigration departments of various countries wherever they applied. So I have written for refusal cases also, and they've also been able to get the visas, get the permits. They've been approved. So these are real statement of purpose. It's a compilation of statement of purpose that I've written, and mostly for Canadian colleges, universities. Besides a few, one or two are for US also, Australia also, and UK also. So this is a very important section of the book. The main title of the book deals with this section only. But the second section of the book, which covers just 1/4 of the book, 25%, that is also extremely important, especially for those students who are planning, to start their businesses or startup companies in future after completing their graduation and whatever course they are planning to do. So basically, that last section of the book will appeal to students who have a entrepreneurial interest after completion of their course. So they'll find a lot of useful information on marketing, selling, how to sell, and how to what it takes to to get a business started and to succeed in business. Besides other things also, like there's the startup scenario. What is the current startup scenario in India, and the startup companies, whether the startup company should go for a complete innovation or they should do the delivery. They should do the delivery method, which is more common these days. So I think the readers will find both the sections extremely. I hope they find it useful.
Okay, that's great. So, which section of the book do you think readers will revisit the most?
As a career counselor, being a certified career counselor. Uh, I've taken training as a psychometric test-based counseling. Besides DMIT, also of course DMIT is for very young children, like around 5 years and 7 years, 8 years of age. But the students like who are in the 8 years plus, like, and for them the psychometric test-based counseling is the trend. It's used by experts globally. So I have done many career counseling sessions with parents, students, using scientific tools, one of which is psychometric tests, and there are other tools also, like MBTI and all. And the most rewarding thing that I have found during this course of career counseling is that I've seen, like, when I tell the parents, this is the aptitude that your child is born with, and this is his personality type, and and his interests, and when they see the match, the fit, what I tell them, when they see it fitting almost perfectly with what they have observed in the child, then I find them very happy, and that's a joy. I mean, I can see the joy on the faces. Yes, they say, yes, that's what he is, that's what my child is, like that. You're absolutely right. When I hear all these statements, and I feel very highly motivated. I feel like I've done some social responsibility. I take it as a social responsibility also, not just as a business enterprise. And guiding parents to know their child very well, to know their child's aptitude, interest, talents, personality type. And it makes me very happy. It makes me feel very happy when I see parents extremely satisfied with the counseling sessions that I've done so far. So actually, this career counseling is more rewarding, much more rewarding than the other part of my business.
Okay, that's great. So, coffee or tea while writing, what keeps you going?
I usually prefer coffee.
Okay.
Coffee keeps me motivated, alert, and the ideas, while I'm sipping my coffee, the ideas that just flow into my mind, and I just keep writing. It's more of a telepathy. I don't know where I get my writing ideas from, but when I open the manuscript, when I start just start typing, and while sipping the coffee, I just don't know where the ideas come. They're like how to constructing this sentences, and the phrases and the words, the right word, the right phrase, and the right sentence. It just comes from nowhere, kind of a thing.
Now, my next question is dream university you love to visit.
Actually, I have a formal sort of a kind of a tie-up with few universities in US also, and in Canada, Australia, UK. But one university that I would like to visit is CSU East Bay, California State University, East Bay, in San Francisco.
Great.
Because my seniors, like my mentor, he was my senior in my university, also in IIT BHU. So he's directly attached with that university. He's a professor, retired professor now. and he visits that university very often, around twice or thrice a year. And I have learned a lot from him about this business, that career counseling plus admissions and writing statement of purpose for US embassy and all. And so it is there in my agenda. Like, I would like to, whenever I get the opportunity, I would like to visit CSU, California State University, East Bay in San Francisco, and another university where we have recruited students. That is Wichita State University in Kansas State, USA.
Okay.
So that's my dream university.
Any book you give to every aspiring student?
No, there's one book actually, which I find it. I think that every person, not only a student, every person must read that book. And that book is, of course, the title of that book, rhymes with the title of my current book. And that is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. That is one book I would suggest everyone should read.
And lastly, any message you want to convey to the readers?
I would my readers, as the book, the name, the title of the book suggests, the readers' audience for my book is, of course, the aspiring international students. And my suggestion to them is that this is statement of purpose, something that they should be writing on their own. Actually, they shouldn't seek others, professionals help in writing a simple academic letter. It's just their a story, like basically a story. It's their life story, which is, of course, academic life story. So they must try to write it on their own, rather than giving this work to a third party, and paying for that also. So my suggestion to the readers is that they must learn. They can use tools. There are so many tools available online, offline, and they're using all the available tools. They must try to write at least the first draft. They must write it on their own, and then they can show that draft to the consultants, education consultants, and the experts, the support. The who write these kind of things, on chargeable basis, if they want to, like. But the first draft must be written by them, and then second draft, third draft, they can edit it further, improve upon it, and that is how they should go about it. Because statement of purpose is a mandatory requirement in most of the countries, and it actually makes a lot of difference in the entire application process. Because I have seen cases, I've handled cases, in fact, where the students were rejected. They were denied admission also, and some students were denied study permits, study visas. But when the case came to me, I did a lot of research. I researched their academic profile, complete profile. I went deeply into it, and I looked for their weaknesses, their strengths, and then I wrote for them. Just 2 or 3 page, maximum 3-page statement of purpose. I'm talking about the refused cases, who refused admissions plus student study visas also. And so after examining, investigating their entire academic profile, I wrote for them, and when they applied with that statement of purpose, which was written by me, they were accepted. They were approved. They were approved by the Canadian government. They were approved by the universities, colleges. So what I try to say is that statement of purpose is a very critical document. It's a crucial document. It can, if one can write, a good statement of purpose, then even the person who has been denied a visa or denied admission, he can be reconsidered by the admission committee or the visa officers.
Okay, so that wraps up our rapid fire session, and thank you so much for joining us today. And I will mention all the links in the description box so that our audience will check out and definitely read your book. Thank you so much.